Commander Lisa Grant stood at the observation window of Station Harmony, watching the stars drift past in their eternal dance. Her reflection stared back at her pointed ears, catching the soft light from the corridor behind her. She had lived for 300 years, but never had she felt time move so slowly as it did now, waiting for the Vex delegation to arrive. Beside her feet, Ember stirred. The red dragon was still young by dragon standards, only 50 years old, but already she stood as tall as Lisa's waist. Her scales gleamed like polished rubies, and heat radiated from her body in gentle waves. On Lisa's other side, Frost lay coiled, his blue-white scales shimmering with cold. The two dragons were siblings born from the same clutch, and they had never been apart. "They are coming soon," Ember said in Lisa's mind. Their voices were not words exactly, but feelings and images that formed meaning. "I can feel their ships approaching." Lisa placed a hand on Ember's head, feeling the warmth beneath the scales. "I know, let them come. We are ready, but were they really ready?" The Vex had been terrorizing human colonies for 6 months now. They attacked supply convoys, destroyed research stations, and killed anyone who resisted. Their message was always the same: surrender or die. Humanity was weak, they claimed. Humanity was primitive. Humanity had no place among the stars. The human government had tried diplomacy at first. They sent ambassadors, offered trade agreements, proposed peace treaties. The Vex laughed at every attempt. They saw humans as barely evolved apes playing at civilization. They saw the elves who had joined humanity centuries ago as has-beens clinging to faded glory. They saw nothing worth respecting. So humanity had changed tactics. They sent Lisa. She was not a diplomat. She was a soldier. She had fought in the border wars against the Kryn. She had defended colony worlds from pirate raids. She had trained with the best human military minds and learned their ways of thinking, their strategies, their determination, and she had brought Ember and Frost with her because dragons had their own kind of diplomacy. The station intercom crackled to life. "Commander Grant, the Vex fleet has entered the sector. They are requesting permission to dock." Lisa straightened her uniform and checked the small communicator at her wrist. The device looked simple, but it connected her to something the Vex did not know existed. Something humanity had kept hidden for 20 years. Something that would change everything. "Grant them permission," she replied. "Direct them to Docking Bay 7. I will meet them in the main council chamber." "Acknowledged, Commander." "Good luck." Lisa did not believe in luck. She believed in preparation. She believed in patience. She believed in knowing your enemy better than they knew themselves. And she believed that humanity had been underestimated for far too long. "Come on, you two," she said to her dragons. "Time to go make some aliens nervous." The walk to the council chamber took 10 minutes. Station Harmony was a massive structure built at the edge of human space where multiple trade routes intersected. It had been constructed as a neutral meeting ground, a place where different species could gather without fear. The irony was not lost on Lisa that the Vex had chosen this place to deliver their ultimatum. The council chamber was a large circular room with a domed ceiling that displayed the stars outside. Rows of seats lined the walls, but the center was open, a space designed for speakers and delegates. Lisa walked to the center with Ember and Frost flanking her. She stood there waiting as the doors on the opposite side of the chamber slowly opened. The Vex entered like conquerors. There were 7 of them, tall insectoid creatures with hard black shells and multiple arms. Their compound eyes glittered with cold intelligence, and their mandibles clicked in what Lisa had learned was their equivalent of laughter. They moved with the confidence of beings who had never truly been challenged. Their leader was slightly larger than the others, with red markings on his shell. He approached Lisa and looked down at her from his greater height. His mandibles spread in what might have been a smile. "So this is what the humans send. An elf woman with pet lizards. How disappointing." Lisa met his gaze calmly. "I am Commander Lisa Grant of the Human Defense Fleet. I am here to receive your terms." The Vex leader clicked his mandibles again. "Our terms are simple. Humanity will surrender all colonies beyond the inner system. You will provide tribute to the Vex Empire in the form of resources and technology. You will acknowledge Vex superiority, and you will do this within 10 of your days, or we will begin destroying your worlds." Ember growled softly, a sound like distant thunder. Frost's eyes began to glow with an inner blue light. Lisa kept her hand steady on Ember's neck, holding her back. "And if we refuse," she asked. "Then you die," the Vex leader said flatly. "All of you. We have studied your defenses. We have watched your fleets. You cannot stop us. You are weak, scattered primitives playing at being a civilization. The age of humans and elves is over. The age of the Vex begins. Lisa felt Frost's cold seeping into the floor around him. She felt Ember's heat building, waiting to be released. But she kept her voice calm. You have made your position clear. Now let me show you ours. She touched the communicator at her wrist. Captain Hayes, are we in position? There was a pause that stretched for 3 heartbeats. Then a woman's voice came through clear and steady. Affirmative, Commander. All systems are ready. Awaiting your order. Lisa looked at the Vex delegation and smiled. Then let them see what humanity has been building. The Vex leader's mandibles stopped clicking. His compound eyes focused on Lisa with sudden intensity. What game is this, elf? What are you doing? No game, Lisa replied. Just showing you what you missed while you were busy mocking us. She gestured toward the large view screen that dominated one wall of the council chamber. It flickered to life, showing the space outside Station Harmony. The Vex fleet hung there, 30 warships bristling with weapons. They surrounded the station in a formation designed to intimidate. But beyond them, in the deeper darkness, something was changing. The space behind the Vex fleet began to shimmer. It started as a small distortion, like heat waves rising from hot ground. Then it spread, rippling outward across kilometers of empty void. The stars beyond seemed to bend and twist, as if reality itself was being disturbed. What is that? The Vex leader demanded. What trick is this? Lisa did not answer. She simply watched as the distortion grew. Beside her, Ember and Frost stood perfectly still, their eyes fixed on the view screen. They knew what was coming. They had seen it before during the secret tests that humanity had conducted far from prying eyes. The shimmer reached its peak and then collapsed inward like a curtain being pulled away. And there, hanging in space where moments before there had been nothing, was a ship. The Vex delegation fell silent. Even their mandibles stopped clicking. They stared at the view screen, at the impossible thing that had appeared before them. The ship was enormous. It dwarfed the entire Vex fleet combined. Its hull was dark, almost black, as if it had been forged from the void itself. Across its surface ran lines of blue energy pulsing with steady rhythm like the heartbeat of some vast mechanical beast. The ship's shape was sleek and predatory, all smooth curves and sharp angles designed for both beauty and lethality. Along its length, rows upon rows of weapons tracked the Vex fleet. Rail cannons that could punch through armor like paper. Plasma arrays that could melt ships into slag. Missile ports that held kinetic warheads capable of cracking moons. All of them powered, all of them aimed, all of them waiting. On the ship's bow, human symbols gleamed in silver. And below them, a name, USS Valkyrie. Impossible, the Vex leader whispered. This cannot be. You are primitives. You should not have this technology. Lisa stepped forward, her boots echoing in the silent chamber. You see, that is your mistake. You looked at us and saw what you expected to see. Scattered colonies, small defense fleets, old elven magic and dragonfire. You assumed we were weak because we did not show you our strength. The Vex leader turned to face her. His earlier confidence shattered. You built this in secret. How long? 20 years, Lisa said. 20 years of construction in hidden shipyards. 20 years of human engineers solving problems you thought we could not understand. 20 years of preparation while you and others like you dismissed us as not worth your attention. She walked closer to the Vex delegation, and Ember and Frost moved with her. The dragon's eyes glowed red and blue, their power barely contained. The Valkyrie is humanity's first dreadnought-class vessel, Lisa continued. It is 3 kilometers long. It carries a crew of 5,000. Its fusion cores generate enough power to supply a small city. Its shields can withstand sustained bombardment from an entire fleet. And its weapons, she paused, looking at the view screen, its weapons can reduce planets to rubble. The other Vex delegates were clicking frantically among themselves. Their body language had changed from confident to fearful. They looked at their own fleet and saw how small it appeared next to the human dreadnought. They looked at the weapons tracking them and understood how quickly they could die. But the Valkyrie is not alone, Lisa said. Watch. On the view screen, more distortions appeared, smaller than before but numerous. All around the Vex fleet space began to shimmer and ripple. Then, one by one, ships decloaked. Cruisers, destroyers, frigates, dozens of them appearing from nowhere surrounding the Vex formation in a perfect tactical grid. The Vex fleet was boxed in. Every ship had multiple human vessels tracking it. Every escape route was covered. They had come here to intimidate and conquer, but now they were the ones trapped. "This is impossible," the Vex leader said again. His voice had lost its earlier arrogance. "You were supposed to be weak. Our intelligence, our scouts," they all said. "They said what we wanted them to say." Lisa interrupted. "We let you see small defense forces. We let you raid minor outposts. We let you think you were winning. Because while you were busy feeling superior, we were building this." She gestured at the view screen at the massive display of human military might. "Every raid you conducted, we studied your tactics. Every ship you sent, we analyzed your technology. Every threat you made, we used to justify more funding, more construction, more preparation. You helped us get ready to face you, and you never even knew it." Frost moved forward, his scales crackling with cold. The temperature in the chamber dropped several degrees. Ember's heat rose to match her brother, creating a strange balance of fire and ice around Lisa. "So here is where we stand," Lisa said. "Your fleet is surrounded, your ships are outgunned, your threats are empty. And now you have a choice." The Vex leader's mandibles trembled. "What choice?" "You can leave," Lisa said simply. "Turn your ships around. Return to Vex space. Tell your empire that humanity is not prey. Tell them that we will defend ourselves. Tell them that any attack on human worlds will be met with the full force of our military. And tell them that we are done being underestimated." "And if we refuse?" the Vex leader asked, though his voice held no real challenge. Lisa's expression hardened. "Then the Valkyrie opens fire, and your fleet becomes a debris field, and we send that debris back to your empire as our answer." The silence in the chamber was absolute. Even the station's background hum seemed to fade away. The Vex delegation stood frozen, caught between pride and survival. Finally, the Vex leader bowed his head. "We will withdraw." Lisa watched the Vex leader carefully. She had learned over 300 years that the moment of surrender was the most dangerous. Pride could make beings do foolish things. Desperation could turn retreat into suicide attack. She kept her hand near the communicator, ready to give the order if needed. But the Vex leader simply stood there, his shell seeming to have lost its shine. His mandibles moved slowly as if tasting defeat for the first time. Behind him, the other delegates shifted nervously, their multiple arms twitching. "You have made a wise choice," Lisa said. Her voice was calm but firm. "You will leave human space immediately. You will not return. And you will spread word to the other species that humanity is under our protection." The Vex leader's eyes focused on her. "Under your protection? You mean the elves protect the humans?" "No," Lisa replied. "I mean, we protect each other. Humanity welcomed my people when we needed a home. They shared their worlds with us. They learned from us and we learned from them. What you see here," she gestured at the view screen at the Valkyrie and its escort fleet. "This is what happens when two species work together, instead of trying to dominate each other." Ember rumbled her agreement. The dragon's voice echoed in Lisa's mind, warm and fierce. "Together we are stronger than apart. This is something the Vex will never understand." The Vex leader turned toward the doors. His delegates followed, moving quickly as if afraid Lisa might change her mind. But before leaving, he looked back one last time. "How many more ships do you have hidden? How many more secrets?" Lisa smiled slightly. "Enough. That is all you need to know." The Vex delegation left the council chamber. Lisa waited until the doors closed behind them before letting out a long breath. She touched her communicator again. "Captain Hayes, the Vex are leaving. Make sure they actually go. If any ship breaks formation or tries anything threatening, you have permission to disable it." "Understood," Commander Captain Hayes replied. "The Valkyrie's weapons remain locked on their fleet. We will escort them to the border and beyond if necessary." "Good work, Captain." "Lisa out." She knelt down between Ember and Frost, wrapping her arms around both dragons. They pressed against her, sharing their warmth and cold, their strength and comfort. For a moment, she allowed herself to feel the relief that came with avoiding bloodshed. "You did well, both of you," she whispered. "I know you wanted to show them your fire and ice, but patience was the right choice today." "There will be other days," Ember said in her mind. Other enemies who will need to see what dragons can do. Let us hope not, Frost added. But if they come, we will be ready. Lisa stood and walked back to the observation window. Outside, she could see the Vex fleet already moving. The ships turned in formation and began accelerating away from Station Harmony. The human fleet maintained position watching, making sure the retreat was genuine. And the Valkyrie hung there in space, silent and imposing, a reminder of what waited for any who threatened humanity. The communicator chirped. Commander Grant, this is Admiral Williams. Lisa smiled at the voice. Her old mentor, commander of the Valkyrie and one of the architects of humanity's secret defense program. Go ahead, Admiral. Beautiful work down there, Williams said. You handled that perfectly. No shots fired, no casualties, and the Vex got the message loud and clear. Thank you, sir, Lisa replied. But the real credit goes to the engineers who built these ships, and to everyone who kept the secret for 20 years. Oh, we will have plenty of time for commendations and celebrations, Williams said. But right now I need you to come aboard the Valkyrie. We need to discuss what happens next because you know this is just the beginning. Lisa nodded, though the Admiral could not see her. I know, sir. The Vex will tell others. Word will spread. Every species in the sector will want to know about our fleet, exactly, Williams said. Which means we need to decide how much more to reveal and when. The Valkyrie was our ace in the hole, but now that card is played. Understood, Lisa replied. I will take a shuttle up within the hour. See you then, Commander Williams out. Lisa turned to her dragons, ready for a trip to the big ship. Ember's eyes gleamed with excitement. Will we get to see the engine rooms? I want to feel how much heat those fusion cores generate. And I want to see the weapon systems, Frost added. Human technology is fascinating. So much power contained in such small spaces. Lisa laughed. I am sure we can arrange a tour. Come on. They left the council chamber and made their way through Station Harmony's corridors. Crew members they passed stopped to stare. News of what had happened was already spreading through the station. Some looked relieved. Others looked excited. A few looked worried about what would come next. At the docking bay, Lisa's personal shuttle waited. It was a small craft designed for short trips between stations and ships. Ember and Frost climbed aboard, curling up in the cargo area, which had been modified to accommodate dragons. Lisa took the pilot seat and began pre-flight checks. Station control, this is Shuttle 7 requesting departure clearance, she said into the comm. Cleared for departure, Shuttle 7, a controller responded. And Commander, congratulations. You just made history. Let us hope it is the good kind of history, Lisa replied. The shuttle lifted off and glided out of the docking bay. Space opened up before them, vast and infinite. The Valkyrie loomed ahead, growing larger as they approached. Up close, the ship was even more impressive. Its hull showed the care that had gone into its construction, every plate perfectly fitted, every weapon mount precisely aligned. This was not something built quickly or carelessly. This was a masterpiece. Lisa guided the shuttle toward the Valkyrie's main hangar. The massive doors opened, revealing a bay large enough to hold 100 ships the size of hers. She flew inside and sat down on a designated pad. As the engines powered down, she saw Admiral Williams waiting with a small group of officers. She exited the shuttle with Ember and Frost. The dragons drew immediate attention from the crew, who had probably never seen such creatures up close. But Williams stepped forward with a broad smile on his weathered face. Commander Grant, welcome aboard the Valkyrie, he said, extending his hand. Lisa shook it firmly. Thank you, sir. She looks even better than the simulations. Wait until you see what she can really do, Williams said. Then his expression became more serious. But first we need to talk strategy. The galaxy just woke up to the fact that humanity is a major power. How we handle the next few weeks will determine our future. Lisa nodded. Lead the way, Admiral. They walked through the Valkyrie's corridors, passing crew members who saluted as they went. The ship hummed with life and energy. Lisa could feel the power flowing through it, could sense the potential waiting to be unleashed. This was what humanity had built in secret. This was their answer to a hostile galaxy, and now everyone would know about it. Admiral Williams led Lisa and her dragons to a conference room deep within the Valkyrie. The room was spacious, with a large table in the center and view screens covering the walls. Several officers were already present, including Captain Hayes, a tall woman, with sharp eyes and graying hair. She nodded to Lisa as they entered. Commander Grant, Captain Hayes said, "It is good to finally meet you in person. Your reputation precedes you, As does yours, Captain, Lisa replied. I have read about your work during the Kryn campaigns. Impressive tactics. Williams gestured for everyone to sit. Lisa took a chair with Ember settling on her right and Frost on her left. The dragons watched the officers with intelligent eyes, making some of the humans visibly nervous. Let me introduce everyone, Williams said. You know Captain Hayes. This is Commander Bennett, our Chief Weapons Officer. Lieutenant Chen handles communications, and Dr. Martinez oversees our research division. Each officer nodded as they were named. Lisa memorized their faces and positions. These were the people who made the Valkyrie function, who had kept its existence secret for 2 decades. Now then, Williams continued. Let us discuss our situation. Commander Grant, you successfully turned away the Vex without firing a shot. That is exactly what we hoped for. But now we face new challenges. He touched a control on the table. The view screens lit up, showing a map of known space. Human territory was marked in blue.
Vex space in red.
And surrounding them dozens of other species, each with their own color. Within hours, every species in this sector will know about the Valkyrie, Williams said. Our intelligence networks are already picking up increased communications traffic. Everyone wants to know what else we have been hiding. Let them wonder, Commander Bennett said. Uncertainty is a weapon too. True, Lisa agreed. But we also need allies. We cannot face every species alone, no matter how powerful our fleet is. Dr. Martinez leaned forward. I have been analyzing the political landscape. Several species have expressed interest in closer relations with humanity. The Irani, for example, have been asking about technology exchanges. The Tolan are concerned about Vex expansion and might welcome our protection. But there are others who will see us as a threat, Lieutenant Chen added. The Kryn never forgave us for the border wars. The Zentari pride themselves on having the strongest military, and the Hive Collective views any emerging power with suspicion. Captain Hayes tapped the table. We need to make a statement, not just to the Vex, but to everyone. We need to show that humanity is strong but not aggressive, that we will defend ourselves but not seek conquest. Lisa considered this. What about a demonstration? We invite representatives from multiple species to witness the Valkyrie's capabilities. Show them what we can do, but also show them we are willing to work within the galactic community. Williams nodded slowly. I like it. A show of strength and diplomacy combined. We could hold it here at Station Harmony, neutral ground. Ember's voice entered Lisa's mind. And we could participate. Show them that humans and elves and dragons stand together. Unity is impressive, Lisa smiled. My dragons suggest they be part of the demonstration. They are right that showing our unity sends a powerful message. Dr. Martinez made notes. We could include other elements too. Display our medical technology, our civilian achievements. Show that we are more than just a military power. The discussion continued for over an hour. Plans were made, schedules drafted, messages prepared. By the end, they had outlined a comprehensive strategy for introducing humanity's true capabilities to the galaxy. But there was one more thing Lisa needed to address. Admiral, what about the other ships? The Valkyrie cannot be everywhere at once. Do we reveal the full fleet or keep some assets hidden? Williams glanced at the other officers. We have 3 more dreadnoughts under construction. 2 are about 80% complete. The third is at 50%. My recommendation is we acknowledge their existence but do not show them yet. Keep some mystery, some deterrent, smart Lisa said. What are they called? The Normandy, Williams replied. The Titan and the Endeavor. Each will have different specializations. The Normandy for speed and reconnaissance. The Titan for heavy assault. The Endeavor for long-range operations. A balanced fleet, Captain Hayes observed. With the Valkyrie as our flagship, we will have flexibility to respond to any threat. Assuming we can crew them all, Commander Bennett pointed out. Building ships is one thing. Training people to operate them is another. We have been preparing for that too, Lieutenant Chen said. We have training programs on 12 different worlds. Thousands of recruits going through simulations, learning the systems. When the new dreadnoughts are ready, we will have crews ready too. Lisa felt a surge of pride. Humanity had not just built ships. They had built an entire infrastructure. They had planned decades ahead, thinking about every aspect of becoming a true spacefaring power. The elves had taught them patience and long-term thinking, but humans had added their own determination and innovation. There is one more factor we need to consider, Dr. Martinez said. The technological gap. We made incredible advances in 20 years. Other species will want to know how. Some will demand we share our knowledge, and if we refuse, Commander Bennett said they might try to take it by force. Then we make it clear that is not an option. Williams stated firmly, "We share what we choose to share with species we trust, and we protect our secrets. The Valkyrie's weapon systems, for example, remain classified. The cloaking technology stays classified. The fusion core improvements stay classified." Lisa nodded agreement. "But we can share some things. Medical advances, agricultural technology, things that help everyone but do not compromise our security." "Exactly," Williams said. "We be generous where we can, and firm where we must." The meeting continued with more details being worked out. Lisa found herself impressed by the officers around the table. They were thinking not just about military matters, but about diplomacy, trade, cultural exchange. They understood that true power came from more than just weapons. Finally, Williams stood. "I think we have a solid plan. Commander Grant, you will continue as our primary diplomatic representative. Captain Hayes the Valkyrie remains on high alert until we are certain the Vex have truly withdrawn. Everyone else, you have your assignments. Let us show the galaxy what humanity can do." The officers filed out. Lisa remained behind with Williams. The Admiral poured 2 glasses of water and handed one to her. "You handled yourself well today," he said. "Better than I expected, honestly. The Vex are proud warriors. Getting them to back down without violence was no small feat." "I had good training," Lisa replied. "And good backup." She glanced at Ember and Frost, who were exploring the conference room with curiosity. "These two helped keep me grounded," Williams smiled. "Your bond with them is remarkable. I have read reports, but seeing it in person is different. They really understand everything, do they not?" "Everything and more," Lisa said. "Dragons are ancient beings. They remember when my people first left our homeworld. They remember the treaties and the wars. They chose to bond with elves because they saw something worth preserving. And now they help us protect humanity," Williams observed. "The galaxy is changing, Commander. Species that have been separate for millennia are starting to work together. Maybe that is the real message we send. Not just that we are strong, but that cooperation makes us stronger." Lisa raised her glass. "To cooperation, then." Williams clinked his glass against hers. "To cooperation and to the future, whatever it may bring." 3 weeks later, Station Harmony was busier than it had ever been. Ships from a dozen different species filled the docking bays. Delegates and ambassadors crowded the corridors. Security teams worked overtime to prevent incidents, and at the center of it all, the Valkyrie hung in space like a dark sentinel watching over everything. Lisa stood in the main observation deck, greeting the arriving delegates. She wore her formal uniform, dark blue with silver trim, and the symbols of both humanity and her elven heritage. Amber and Frost flanked her as always, their presence drawing amazed stares. From the alien visitors, the first to arrive were the Irani, a species of peaceful explorers with 4 arms and skin that shifted colors with their emotions. Their ambassador approached Lisa with hands extended in their traditional greeting. "Commander Grant, it is an honor," the ambassador said. Her skin showed swirls of blue and green, indicating respect and curiosity. "We have heard remarkable stories about what happened here. I am pleased you could attend," Lisa replied. "Today we hope to show everyone that humanity seeks peaceful cooperation while maintaining the ability to defend ourselves." "A worthy goal," the Irani ambassador said. "My people appreciate strength tempered with wisdom." Next came the Tolan, a reptilian species known for their strategic thinking. Their delegation was smaller, just 3 individuals, but Lisa knew they represented a powerful military force in the southern sectors. "Commander," the lead Tolan said, bowing slightly. "We are eager to see this Valkyrie. Our intelligence suggested humanity was at least 30 years away from such technology." "We had good teachers," Lisa replied, gesturing to herself. "And dedicated engineers. Sometimes necessity speeds up innovation." "Indeed," the Tolan replied. "We look forward to the demonstration." More species arrived throughout the morning. Some were friendly, some were neutral. A few were openly skeptical. The Zentari delegation in particular made their doubts clear. They were a warrior culture proud of their military traditions, tricks and deception. One Zentari officer muttered loud enough to be heard. "Building one large ship means nothing. Show us your fleet. Show us your capabilities in battle." Lisa kept her expression calm. "Patience. All will be revealed." By midday, everyone was assembled. The observation deck was packed with delegates, their various forms and sizes, creating a strange but fascinating crowd. Lisa moved to the center where a raised platform gave her a clear view of everyone. "Welcome," she began. Her voice carried through the room, amplified by hidden speakers. "Thank you all for attending today. I know many of you have questions about humanity's recent revelations. Today we hope to answer some of those questions." She gestured toward the view screen which showed the Valkyrie in all its glory. 3 weeks ago, the Vex came to this station demanding humanity's surrender. They believed we were weak. They were wrong. The ship you see before you represents 20 years of human determination and engineering. But more importantly, it represents our commitment to defending our worlds and our people. "Show us what it can do," the Zentari officer called out. "Words mean nothing. Actions speak," Lisa nodded. "As you wish. Admiral Williams, if you would." On the view screen, the Valkyrie began to move. Despite its size, it accelerated smoothly, demonstrating remarkable agility. The ship performed a series of maneuvers that should have been impossible for something so large. It rolled, dove climbed, and spun with the grace of a fighter craft. The delegates watched in stunned silence. Even the skeptical Zentari seemed impressed. "Now for weapons demonstration," Lisa continued. "Captain Hayes has set up remote targets at various ranges. Admiral, you may proceed when ready." The Valkyrie's rail cannons fired. Brilliant streaks of light crossed the void, striking targets kilometers away. The impacts were devastating. Then the plasma arrays activated, bathing other targets in superheated energy, until they simply vaporized. Finally, kinetic missiles launched, arcing through space to obliterate the remaining targets with precise strikes. The entire demonstration lasted less than 5 minutes. When it ended, the delegates were silent. "This is but one ship," Lisa said. "We have more under construction. We have escort fleets. We have defense stations. And we have the will to use them if necessary." She paused, letting her words sink in. "But we do not seek war. We seek cooperation. We seek trade and cultural exchange. We seek to be part of the galactic community, not to dominate it. The Valkyrie and our other vessels exist to protect, not to conquer." Ember stepped forward and raised her head. Fire gathered in her throat, glowing bright. Then she released it in a controlled stream that lit up the observation deck. Beside her, Frost breathed out and ice crystals formed in the air, sparkling like diamonds. "And we have allies," Lisa continued. "The elves and their dragon companions have been part of humanity for 300 years. We stand together. We fight together. We build together." The Irani ambassador spoke first. "This is impressive, Commander. But it also raises questions. How did you advance so quickly? What other secrets do you hold?" "Fair questions," Lisa replied. "We advanced because we had to. Because species like the Vex made it clear that weakness meant death. As for secrets, we will share what we can with those we trust. Technology that helps everyone, medical advances, agricultural improvements. But our military capabilities remain protected." The Tolan delegate nodded. "Understandable. We respect strength and prudence." The Tolan Confederation would be interested in discussing formal alliance, as would the Irani, the ambassador added. "Though we prefer trade agreements to military pacts." Even the Zentari seemed to grudgingly accept what they had seen. "Your ship is impressive," the officer admitted. "You have earned respect today." Lisa felt relief wash over her. This was working. The demonstration had achieved its goal, showing strength while offering cooperation. But then the alarms went off. "Alert intruders detected in Sector 7, a voice announced over the intercom. "Unknown ships approaching at high speed." The observation deck erupted in chaos. Delegates shouted questions. Security teams moved to protect their charges. Lisa immediately touched her communicator. "Williams, what is happening?" "Multiple contacts," the Admiral replied. "They are not Vex. Configuration matches Kryn raiders. Looks like about 15 ships." The Kryn, Lisa's jaw tightened. They must have decided to take advantage of all the delegates being in one place. "Attack while we are distracted. That would be my assessment," Williams confirmed. "Orders." Lisa looked at the assembled delegates, at the fear and uncertainty on many faces. Then she looked at Ember and Frost, who stood ready. She made her decision. Protect the station, she commanded. Show them what the Valkyrie can really do. On the view screen, the Kryn ships appeared. They were smaller than the Vex vessels, but faster, more aggressive. They split into 3 groups, clearly planning a coordinated attack on Station Harmony. The Valkyrie moved to intercept. Its weapons locked on, and for the first time since its construction, the great ship went to war. The rail cannon spoke first. 3 Kryn ships exploded in rapid succession. The plasma arrays swept across 2 more, leaving nothing but debris. The remaining raiders tried to scatter, but the Valkyries' targeting systems tracked them all. Human escort ships decloaked, joining the battle. The Kryn found themselves surrounded, outgunned. Within minutes, it was over. Every raider ship was either destroyed or fleeing at maximum speed. The delegates watched in awed silence. They had seen the demonstration. Now they had seen the reality. Lisa stood tall. This is what we built the Valkyrie for, not to threaten peaceful species, but to stop those who would harm us or our allies. The Kryn made a mistake today. They learned what happens when you underestimate humanity. The Irani ambassador's skin showed deep purple respect mixed with fear. You could have destroyed them all. Yes, Lisa replied. But we let some escape, so they can carry the message back. So others learn, humanity is not prey. We are protectors, and we are here to stay. The galaxy had been warned. The age of underestimating humanity was over.